As radio waves are a type of wave, they can experience diffraction. You might remember that waves spread out whenever they pass through a gap or around an obstacle, and this is called diffraction. In general, the smaller the gap or the longer the wavelength, the stronger the diffraction. Waves with longer wavelengths passing through small gaps spread out more than waves with shorter wavelengths passing through wider gaps. As a plane wavefront goes through a single small gap, it turns into a circular wavefront. If the gap is larger, then only the edges of the wavefront are circular. Diffraction is not always a bad thing. Radio waves diffract over hills and between buildings, allowing you to pick up signals. Longer wavelength radio signals diffract more than shorter wavelength microwaves. In general, the strongest diffraction occurs when the wavelength of the wave is the same size as the gap it passes through. Waves with a longer wavelength diffract more. Radio waves have a longer wavelength than microwaves, so they diffract more over hills and between buildings, allowing the signal to travel further. Some radio waves have such a long wavelength that they diffract around the curvature of the Earth. This allows them to be transmitted over very long distances. They diffract over the horizon. Some submarines use extremely low frequency radio waves. This allows the submarine to send and receive signals from anywhere on the planet. Radio waves can also be diffracted as they reflect off the ionosphere. This bounces the signal back to the Earth's surface in a different location. The transmitter in the picture is giving off a TV signal of microwaves and a radio signal made up of radio waves. This house has got a receiver and it wants to try and receive the microwaves and the radio waves. However, we have got a very big obstacle in the way. Now, the only signal that the house is picking up are the radio signals. Now, this is because the radio waves are a longer wavelength than the microwaves, which are shown in red, and therefore they diffract more around the obstacle. So while this transmitter is sending out both radio and microwaves, only the radio waves can reach the house because they are longer wavelength and therefore they can diffract more around the hill.